part of that process of being able to forgive is trying to understand the person who has wronged. I was speaking to a man whose father was abusive, and as we were talking through that, it's I don't think there's very many people who grew up saying, "I want to be a terrible dad who's going to abuse my children."
Hmm.
So then you want to try to figure out what happened behind that, especially if the person is no longer alive.
Right.
And this happens, often. In the book, I talk about a man who was finally able to forgive after his dad had died, and then he'd go to the cemetery and he'd just sit there and have conversation. He'd take a bottle of wine and sit and have conversations with his dad, at the grave. But the ability to ask, well, I talk about one family who found out that their father, who was often angry and acted out of anger, they later found out that their father, when he was a boy, had been locked in the closet by his parents, and they would leave for periods of time, and he'd be there by himself in the darkness. And so so you find hurt people. And all of a sudden, when they were able to understand what shaped him, it helped them to be able to, and the Greek word in the New Testament for forgive is to release or let go. It helped them to be able to let go. It didn't mean they excused the way that he treated them growing up, or said it was okay, or it didn't really matter. Of course it mattered, it hurt them. But to be able to let go of the right to retribution, or the right to continue to hate or be angry with their father because they came to understand he was a little boy who had been locked in a closet in the dark for hours. And then they could say, okay, I think I can finally let go.